Everyone. This is Listening One course, and we are going to talk about the first unit, Introduction and Names. And we are going to talk about the lesson 2 in this video. In lesson 2, we have two folders. In the first folder, we are going to talk about dates. The purpose of this course is how to talk about dates, how to say dates in English, and how to explain dates before Jesus and after Jesus. And these are the aims of this course. And when you get into the folder, you see our audio and you see two Word documents. One is our handout. Now I want you to download the handout to your computers. This is our handout. And when you download handout, you see such a document on your computer. And you are going to listen a lecture with historical information here. And you are going to listen for dates. In English, when a year is given, the speaker first gives the number for the century, for example, like 18, and then the number within the century, for example, like 23. So when you say 1823, you just mention these dates. And when the year is in the first decade of century, however, the speaker can say 05, 06, 07, and so on. So, for example, when you see such a date, you can say that it's 1902. And now in the first part of your handout, you are going to hear some dates in your listening text, and you're going to write these dates here. And in the second part of your handout, it's a fill in the gaps exercise. You are going to listen 6 short biographies of famous figures in history, and as you listen, fill in the missing information in the sentences below, please. And in the last part, you have some questions, and you are going to answer to these questions. Now, please just stop this video and listen for once for each part and try to answer each question here. And now I'm going to give the answers of each part here. Let's have a look at our second Word document, which is the transcript. If you have listened it and if you have filled in the blanks, if you have answered all the questions in the handout, you can continue watching this video. If you haven't completed all the parts in your handout, please listen one more time to your listening text and then come to this video again. Okay, let's see the transcription. Here you see the transcription of what you have listened in the listening text. We have heard some dates. We have heard 8 dates in listening text. So the first date was, as you can see, 1167, and it says that I was born around the year 1167 in Central Asia. This is the biography of Genghis Khan. And the second one is about Alexander the Great. And the second date that we hear is 334 BCE. So this BCE is before Jesus. And the third paragraph is the third lecture is about Marco Polo. And the third date will be 1271, as you can see. Let's write this to our handouts. This is here, first date, and this is our second date, and this is our third date. And let's continue for the fourth date. Our fourth date is 1520, and let's write it here. And our fifth date is 3rd BCE. As you can see, it's the Cleopatra, and our fifth date is 3rd BCE, and our sixth date is 46. Okay, it is here. And 44, our sixth date is 406, and our next date is 440. Okay, this is the seventh date, and 450 is our last date here. And let's have a look at the next question. If you don't have any questions related to the first part, if you have any question, please stop video and look for the parts that you are confused. In the second part, you are going to listen and fill in the information that are missing in the sentences. In the first question, it says that I lived in Central Asia, as you can see in the document here. Here is Asia, okay, and I ruled a large empire. I'm Genghis Khan, and born in 1167, as you can see, okay. And for the second question, I am blah blah the Great. I am the Alexander Great, and Alexander is here. And I became the ruler of my people in 334 BCE, as you can see here. Okay, so it is here. And in the third one, in blah blah, I traveled to China. Traveling to China is the job of Marco Polo. So in 1271, he traveled to China, and I'm from, so Marco Polo is from Italy, let's say. He's from Italy, and my name is Marco Polo, he says. And in the first question, I am Suleiman the Magnificent, and I wrote here you see Suleiman the Magnificent, and I ruled the Ottoman Empire, as you can see the answer here, from the year 1520. Okay. All right. And the next question is, I am from blah blah. I was a great queen who died at the age of 39 in blah blah BCE. So we are talking about Cleopatra here, and I am from, Cleopatra is from Egypt. So we are going to say that I am from Egypt, and I was a great queen who died at 39 in, she died at 39 in 30 BCE. So the answer here is 30 BCE. Okay. And in the sixth question, my name brings fear to many. I was born around the year, so we are talking about Attila in this question. He was born around 406, okay. He was born around 406, and in blah blah I conquered Gaul. So in as you can see, in 450 I invaded Gaul, he says. In 450 I conquered Gaul, and I am blah blah the Hun. I am Attila the Hun. Okay. So the answers in the second part would be like that, as you can see here. Let's talk about the last part. In the last part, it asks for some information again. In the first question, it says that who became the leader after his or her father's death. As you can remember, Suleiman the Magnificent became the leader after the father's death. And who became a leader at a very young age. So let's have a look at who became a leader at a very young age. So Alexander the Great at the age of 19 became the leader of his country. So the answer is Alexander the Great. And in the third question, who was very scary for her or his enemies. As you can see here, Attila was very scary, and the enemies fears from Attila so much. So the answer is Attila the Hun. And whose life was described in a book. So Marco Polo says that I dictated a book about my life. So Marco Polo's life was described in a book. And who lived in 12th century? Let's have a look at the dates again. As you can see here, our first date, which was 1169, was a date from 12th century. So he was Genghis Khan, who lived in the 12th century, and who killed himself or herself. As you can remember, while we are talking about Cleopatra, she says that I committed a suicide, so the answer is Cleopatra. Okay, the answer for the sixth question is Cleopatra. So the answers for the last part will be like this, and please have a look at the answers for all parts. This is part 1, and this is part 2, and this is part 3, as you can see, and this is the end of the first part of our lesson for these units.